Всім доброго ранку. Дякую вам, що ви прийшли до нас. Ми зараз будемо починати воркшоп. Зазвичай почнемо з привітання Ростислава. Якщо бажаєте, можете ближче підійти, щоб бачити екран. Якщо не бажаєте, я не буду на вас тиснути, бо субота все-таки. У нас є мерч, хто ще не чув, новенька кепочка. Ви можете отримати за донат будь-який мерч, кепочка, шопер і пляшечка. Є просто наклеїчки. А можете просто задонатити. Я хочу представити Ростислава, очільника нашої ком'юніті. Ростислав, ти чуєш, бачиш нас, поки ми сходимося тут?
Так,
Все є,
буде.
окей.
Зараз буде єдине, що зараз буде не воркшоп, а просто я б хотів просто поспілкуватися. Воркшоп буде через 30 хвилин.
Ну так, да, по факту так воно і є. Все так. Отже, погнали?
Так. Всім привіт. Я, до речі, людей не бачу, бачу себе. Не знаю, що так задумано.
Зараз ми включимо
Але...
камеру.
Угу, окей. О, супер. Друзі, привіт всім. Сподіваюсь, що ви виспалися сьогодні, бо сьогодні буде для вас такий напружений день, мені здається. Сьогодні у нас Farcaster Frames Meetup. Вони змінили назву їх фреймів на міні-апс. І це з точки зору маркетингу. Вони вважають, що так воно буде простіше онбордити людей і так далі. Типу, девам і людям буде простіше розуміти, що таке фрейми. Да, і міні-апс якби звучить краще. Тому вони зробили такий ренеймінг. А ми скидали насправді ідеї, які можна будувати. Давайте, я не знаю, я почну, наприклад, з того, що чому я вважаю, що в принципі Farcaster. Чому ми взагалі робимо якісь івенти про Farcaster? Це типу точно не тому, що вони нас проспонсорували, або типу закинули нам грошей. Ні. Взагалі ні. На жаль. Ну, але як є. Це тому, що, в принципі, я вважаю, що Farcaster, ну і Farcast, да, їх клієнт, як такий один з юзкейсів, який насправді показує, типу, що Web3 це не тільки про якісь мемкоїни, про гемблінг або там спекуляції. Це також про те, що є насправді реальні апки, якими можна користуватись, які мають сенс там з технічної точки зору, з точки зору використання цих додатків. Да, але в принципі проблема в тому, що, звісно, їх дуже трішки важкувато розкачувати. Насправді все гарне, що робиться, воно завжди важко. Я не зустрічав такого, щоб, типу, щось було дуже круте. Да? Дуже було легко розкрутити PumpFun, коли весь світ туди зайшов, почали трейдити ці мемкоїни і так далі, і так далі. Да, але якщо це щось серйозне, якщо це щось, що не хайпує, да, то це важко розкручувати. Але я вважаю, що команда Farcaster робить дуже круті речі. Я їм дуже бажаю успіху. І я я закликаю вас приєднуватись і там до Farcaster, витрачати свій час, тому що, в принципі, я думаю, що це буде така популярна платформа. І навіть зараз, якщо у нас же ком'юніті білдерів, я сподіваюся, що ви всі білдери, і ви будете щось будувати, то в цілому для білдерів, я думаю, зараз там атмосфера і те, що відбувається саме у Farcaster, дуже прикольно, тому що там насправді дуже багато девів, дуже багато creators, там всяких artists і так далі. І там така атмосфера дуже дружня, і можна подивитись якісь ідеї, які люди там пропонують, обговорюють. Можна подивитись там інші речі. Да? Тобто, в принципі, контент там він зараз такий. Highly concentrated, я б сказав, from builders, да? І це, для мене це плюс. Не знаю, як там для вас. Тому, якщо вам це цікаво, то доєднуйтесь, розкачуйте свій аккаунт. потрохи. Я думаю, що це буде важливо для майбутнього. Можливо, зараз ви там, не знаю, будете. Дуже важко вам буде там побачити якийсь сенс в цьому, та? Але я думаю, що згодом він точно буде, і буде багато людей доєднуватись. Зараз там, я не знаю, я не пам'ятаю, скільки там daily active users, але ну немало. Тобто там же я знав, що там більше 70 тисяч гаманців було поповнено, які вони створили нещодавно, і так далі. Доєднуйтесь, робіть щось там. Тепер про апки, міні-апки, да, ці їхні фрейми. Фрейми прикольна штука. Це, ну, вона дозволяє тобі безпослідовно в рамках там твоєї ленти в стіни, я не знаю, як називається. Е, в, ну, в вебкасті, в клієнті, да, типу, в тебе в додатку бачити якісь міні-апки, користуватись іми, не виходячи з самого Farcaster додатку, не відкриваючи, не там скачуючи нові додатки. Це, в принципі, історія не нова, да, вона, типу, вже існує давно. Ну, але я думаю, що це один з таких кейсів, де, в принципі, що має сенс, да, і що, наприклад, Twitter не має. Якщо ми кажемо, що Farcaster і Webcast це конкуренти Твіттеру, умовні такі собі, да, то, в принципі, це доволі такий прикольний адвентедж з точки зору юзабіліті для простих людей. В принципі, це можуть бути якісь ігри, або це можуть бути якісь прикольні додатки. І я сподіваюся, що сьогодні ви прийшли на хакатон спробувати себе в цьому, збудувати щось цікаве. Е, Дуже хочу побачити якісь класні ідеї сьогодні, щось збудоване, прикольне. Тож сподіваюся, що у вас все вийде. Там сьогодні вночі я побачив, там зранку зайшов, побачив. Значить, ми вже шарили ідеї до цього по міні-апках. Да, якщо в когось комусь важко знайти собі ідею, він ще її не знайшов, то я поширю там зараз в чат в Телеграмі один пост в Твіттері від Ден Ромеро, це засновник, по суті, Farcaster, один з засновників. Він написав сьогодні вночі ще 50 міні-ап ideas, що, в принципі, прикольно, і це означає, що, скоріше за все, їх ще ніхто не збудував. Якщо хтось хоче збудувати щось нове прикольне, то я ці ідеї закину, і ну, це ваша можливість, скажімо так, да? Побудувати фрейм, апку, якої ще немає, і яка може там потенційно піти go viral, да? Тобто зловити якийсь хайп, ще щось. Тобто збудуйте, можливо, відмітьте цього Ден Ромеро в Твіттері або там в Вербкасті. Вважаю, що краще це зробити в Вербкасті. І, можливо, він репостне, можливо, ви отримаєте якийсь трекшн, тобто все в ваших руках. Ще, я думаю, що прикольно з цими міні-апками, ну, їх доволі швидко можна розроблювати. Тобто, в принципі, да, тут не так, що ти робиш якийсь там стартап місяцями. Да, тобто ти можеш, в принципі, там за кілька днів, мені здається, збудувати класний міні-ап, швидко протестити його, типу, отримати якийсь фідбек від людей. І там зрозуміти, окей, це підходить, і там зайшло людям, це не зайшло, і рухаємось далі. Тобто, з цієї точки зору, це теж, я вважаю, дуже прикольна історія. Так, сьогодні ще хотів сказати, що о 6 вечора буде демо. Да, тобто ну, це optional, насправді це, якщо ви не хочете там демонструвати те, що ви збудували, це up to you, типу ми не будемо змушувати. Але всі, хто захочуть продемонструвати все те, що вони збудували за день, 6 вечора, десь там 6:05, плюс-мінус, да. Починаємо піч-сесії, демо. Тому, да, якщо, типу, ви не знали або не побачили там в розкладі, я кажу, також майте це на увазі. Ще в нас скоро, через 20 хвилин, буде воркшопи від прикольних людей. Мене з ними там законектили через Base. Я сподіваюся, вам буде цікаво. Да, вони будуть на англійській мові. Я сподіваюся, всі знають англійську мову. Тому що вона насправді потрібна. Якщо ви не знаєте, вчіть. Тут має бути рекламна інтеграція якась, не знаю, з кимось, але, на жаль, нам не платять за рекламні інтеграції. Так, я думаю, що ці чуваки, які будуть розповідати про міні-апс, вони дуже такі, в них гарний досвід, в них в кожного, мені здається, своя власна контора, яка будує ці міні-апки на Farcaster. Тож має бути цікаво, вони навіть там щось готувались, тому подивимось, але сподіваюся, що вам буде корисно. Можливо, давайте, я не знаю, кожен раз кажу якусь промову, я б хотів би поспілкуватись. Можливо, у вас є якісь до мене запитання, чи ж хоч щось, можливо, хочете щось в мене запитати, якось поспілкуватись. Буду радий
Є
відповісти.
питання. Зараз придаю
Да.
мікрофон.
Так, привіт, мене звати Олексій. І в мене таке питання: що сталося з грантами, які обіцяли на тому двохдневному хакатоні? Питання від Вахтанга, жартую.
Ага. Так, смішно. Ну, насправді нічого не сталося. Типу, в принципі, там ситуація проста. Да, типу, приходить екосистема, якою цікаво там щось, ну, щоб в неї щось побудували. Да? Вони прийшли до нас, там попросили нас зробити хакатон. Ми зробили. І я вважаю, що в принципі це net позитив для всіх. Типу, там люди отримали там можливість щось побудувати, по суті, отримали гроші, причому немалі, да, і відносно, і, типу, здобули досвід. Також і ця історія з грантами, вона не нова, вона була, типу, там, мені здається, рік в них. Тобто вони там, вона постійна. Тобто не те, що там ти можеш отримати грант лише в нас на хакатоні. В них просто є, типу, така програма, що якщо ти класний проєкт, то і ти їм сподобаєшся, ти будеш в них екосистемі, то ти можеш отримати грант. Мене постійно питають, я вже відповідав декілька разів, але скажу ще раз. Типу, я не маю відношення до цих грантів, я не вирішую, да, типу, кому дати грант, кому не дати грант. Все, що я можу, це показати проекти, ну, типу, там, нашим партнерам, які до нас прийшли з проханням зробити для них хакатон. І я це зробив. Але, на жаль, на зараз, ну, як я зрозумів, типу, в них немає інтересу, тому що зараз дуже поганий ринок. Вони в такому, типу, сейв-моді. Тому, да. Тобто тут така історія, як всіх. Тобто, да, є гранти, але, ну, вони працюють як у всіх. Якщо хтось комусь сподобається, то вони обов'язково до вас прийдуть. Але я не думаю, що є сенс там по 50 разів там приходити і питати, де грант. Ну, на моїй, давайте так, ви можете це робити, але з мого досвіду це не допомагає точно. Це, типу, робить ситуацію тільки гірше.
Ні, без проблем. Все одно наш проект би не отримав гранти, а це просто було цікаво. От. І ще таке питання: сьогодні побільше замовити піци? Бо минулі рази не вистачало.
Я до Юлі, не знаю. Ну, сьогодні я бачу, там людей не так багато. Я, в принципі, так десь і очікував, що, типу, цього разу буде менше людей. Чомусь людям не дуже цікаво будувати міні-апс. Да? Але, ну, в принципі, це окей. Напевно, по-перше, у нас менше призовий фонд, але теж треба розуміти, що ми не завжди зможемо знаходити по $20 000 на кожен міні-хакатон. Тому ну, буває по-різному, але я бачу наші міні-хакатони як, в принципі, як платформу, де ти можеш прийти з будь-ким, щось там познайомитись, доєднатися до команди, щось побудувати, отримати досвід. Якщо ви, наприклад, якщо ви самі там щось вчите, хочете щось стати білдером десь в себе вдома, мені здається, типу, наші заходи це ідеальний простір для того, щоб прийти і щось побудувати. Не самим, а вже з якомусь командою, хтось вам щось розкаже, типу, як білдити, якісь дасть поради, там, не знаю, буде ще у вас шанс щось виграти, ви будете вчитись пічити. Ну, тобто, дуже, дуже класна історія. Дуже шкода всіх тих, хто не приходить, тому що, ну, в принципі, це їх справа, да? Але ну, вони втрачають можливості, незрозуміло чому. Ну, але в людей завжди там якісь свої причини, купа своїх проблем і так далі, і так далі. Ну, але радий, що ви прийшли. А також забув сказати, сьогодні в нас буде два ментори. Це перший раз, мені здається, бо там останні рази всі питання технічні вирішував я онлайн. Але цього разу у нас буде два ментори, там буде Нік. Я не пам'ятаю його прізвище, не знаю, Нік, ти в залі?
Так, він в залі.
Окей. О, да, можеш
Він
стати,
помахав ручкою.
щоб
Вставай.
на тебе все подивились. І якщо будуть якісь запитання там технічні, можете до нього підходити. Також у нас буде другий ментор, він запізнюється, він буде там десь об 11-й. Це Юрій Ковальчук, який, до речі, вчора виграв там один з таких хакатонів від Uniswap V4. Він збудував прикольний хук. Я дивився його демо. Дуже класно, його дуже там хвалили, тому теж такий дуже, дуже класний хлопчина. Він теж буде вашим ментором сьогодні. Я думаю, Юрія багато людей знають. Якщо ні, то Юля там теж його представить, як тільки він прийде. Окей, які ще, можливо, питання чи щось?
Так, є ще одне питання. Юру ми представимо обов'язково.
Ага.
А Юра не звертався до хук-рангу, щоб оцінили хук?
Ми, коротше, з ним поспілкувалися. Він навіть прикольну ідею одну подкинув для нашого продукту Кукранг. І, скоріш за все, ну, вона мені сподобалась. І, скоріш за все, ми її все ж таки зробимо. Ідея в тому, щоб додати, значить, підрахунок MEV під пули на хуках. Тобто зараз ти бачиш там, скільки там фіз, да, наприклад, заробив цей пул в цьому конкретному хуку. Але ти не бачиш, скільки з цих фі пішло LP-провайдерам, liquidity-провайдерам, скільки з цих фі пішло там MEV-ботам, які роблять сендвіч атаки і все інше. Тобто, я думаю, що в принципі ця історія була б дуже прикольна додати, і ми, скоріш за все, додамо. Це була дуже крута ідея, що я йому дякую. Да, ось так.
Дякую. Можливо, ще є питання? Ні, все. Можливо, потім хтось. Звичайно, потім будуть питання, коли будуть писати тобі в особисті, тому чекають. Зараз просто на час.
Ще не проснулась.
Ще
Окей.
не прокинулись, реально.
Да, окей.
О,
Добре, ну, в
є
принципі...
ще одне. Почекай, будь ласка.
Да.
Зараз я передам мікрофон, щоб не переказувати.
Доброго дня. Загальне питання по процесу. Я щось не бачу ні в Діскорді, ні в Телеграмі, де саме розклад хакатону можна дивитись.
А там його прислали вчора на емейл. Ви подивіться емейл, там всі, хто зареєстрований, вам мав прийти бласт через Лума. Там є розклад. Ну, в принципі, я думаю, зараз попрошу нашу СММ також запостити його десь в Телеграмі, щоб було зручніше.
І дякую
Але
за
на пошту ні.
відповідь. І ще одне невеличке питання, уточнення. На воркшопу саме планується показати, як деплоїти цей фрейм, так? Я правильно розумію?
Ну, не тільки деплоїти, в принципі, там, мені здається, спочатку Зараз. Зараз. Ну, там буде QA-сесія також. Ту-ту-ту-ту-ту. Зараз я відкрию. How to develop frames. Тобто, спочатку як їх розробляти, можливо, якісь практичні, прості штуки будуть. Потім буде Q&A, потім буде How to debug frames. Як дебажити. Покажуть також. І останнє це буде How to make frames go viral. Да? Тобто, також, мабуть, проговорять, типу, як займатися дистриб'юшеном. Тобто, дивіться, як зробити так, щоб там ваш фрейм побачили, і навіть хтось його там завантажив собі і щось там з нею робив. Тобто, в принципі, дивіться, насправді треба розуміти, що є типу фрейми, які йдуть, які хайпують. І є нормальна така вірогідність, що наступним фреймом, який захайпує, буде ваш фрейм, саме ваш. Насправді я просто, в мене, коротше, ви маєте зрозуміти, що всі ті люди, які роблять якісь круті речі, які ви знаєте у Web3, там, не знаю, Aave, протокол, MakerDAO, там, що там ще, Uniswap, і ще щось, всі ці там круті Web3 протоколи, мільярдні, які вам приходять на думку, їх роблять такі самі прості люди, як і ви. Немає нічого особливого в тих людях, що відрізняло б їх від вас. Ні якийсь там спеціальний розум, ні якісь там інші скіли. Тобто цього всього немає. Це насправді. Це я про те кажу, що в принципі вас нічого не стопить від того, щоб там наступний такий протокол зробили ви. Це може зробити будь-хто. І, в принципі, ви маєте. Єдина, напевно, проблема в нас всіх, в українців, це те, що ми мало віримо в себе. Нам здається, що ми якісь не такі, або ми там ми не можемо зробити. Типу, ми можемо прийти щось спробувати, але воно точно не піде, воно нікому не потрібно, і так далі. І так далі. Я точно не знайду кошти, я точно не знайду ресурс далі це підтримувати. Я точно не зроблю гарний маркетинг, я точно не знайду гарну команду. Тобто, всі ці приколи якісь, які є в нас там всередині, з ними треба працювати, і ви маєте розуміти і пам'ятати постійно про те, що всі ці речі, які круті, які хайпують, їх роблять прості люди, такі самі, як ви. Тому пам'ятайте про це, і наступний класний фрейм, міняп, який хайпане, може бути від вас сьогодні. Тому я запрошую всіх там зробити максимум від себе, типу, треба попрацювати трішки, але майте на увазі, що у всіх є шанс рівноцінний зробити щось дуже круте. Ну і, в принципі, навіть якщо воно не залетить, то ви отримаєте там дуже крутий досвід, і там залетить наступного разу. Головне не здаватись, продовжувати робити те, що ви робите, і колись вірити в те, що, в принципі, колись все ж таки воно станеться. Окей. Ще такий дуже сумний момент. Багато хто бачив вчора новину про те, що загинув один з членів ком'юніті. Його звали Олександр Несторов, йому був 21 рік. Насправді, я його особисто не знав, але я бачив його на фото, я бачив його на відео багато разів, і я запам'ятав, тому що він приходив з братом постійно, якому, мені здається, там 14 років. Вибачте, якщо я не правий. Я пам'ятаю, як Юля, наш івент-менеджер, мені постійно писала і питала, чи можна там з братом, тому що він неповнолітній і так далі. Я постійно казав, так, можна. Дуже шкода, і дуже шкода взагалі всіх тих, хто загинув в цій війні, особливо там вчора. Ця трагедія в Кривому Розі також. Тому я пропоную зробити хвилину мовчання і вшанувати пам'ять. Дякую, друзі. Так, якщо хтось хоче, можете також зайти, там є збір. Ну, в принципі, всюди поширили. Можете побачити в наших каналах, якщо у когось є там 100 гривень закинути, welcome. У нього залишився його брат, тож я думаю, що підтримка буде мати сенс. Окей. В принципі, в мене все. I will switch to English. Hello, Lyman. Do you hear us?
Morning,
Okay.
everyone.
Good morning. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. Happy to have you here. I think I already said everything I wanted, so I can just give it the microphone to you, so you can go ahead with the workshop about the frames, mini-apps, and so on.
Yeah, I guess like for the agenda, do we need to wait Samuel, as he should be able to like he should hear Samuel.
Okay, yeah.
But
He's
I guess
starting.
maybe
He's starting.
yeah, he
Sorry.
started. Maybe we can do a quick intro about ourselves. I don't
Yeah,
know.
for sure. Samuel, hello. Do you hear us? Yeah. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining. And let's start from the intros. Let's start from you, if you don't mind.
Sure. I'm Samuel. I'm running a Farcaster development boutique. So we've built like a bunch of frames, many apps, and all kind of apps in the ecosystem. Before doing that, I grew up in Germany, close to Frankfurt. Then played a lot of Counter-Strike, and my dad was like, "Hey, you can't just play video games all day. Do some coding." So I started developing. He gave me a C book, like literally the programming language C. That got boring after like reading a few pages and like 1 or 2 chapters. And then he had me do small little games that evolved into writing blackjack on the terminal. And yeah, from there did some IT security, penetration testing, cloud engineering, and yeah, now I'm here and we're building apps. That's my quick background story.
Amazing, yeah. Thank you.
About me, my name is Simone. I'm from Rome, Italy. but I'm currently in Milan, so I also love to travel a little. I was in Lisbon, now Milan. I go to a lot of Ethereum events and hackathons. I'm running a consumer crypto focused product studio, and we're now building a lot of mini apps indeed on Farcaster. I'm also running a local community in Rome called urbe.it. We're organizing Ethereum, which is the only Ethereum hackathon in our country. We recently opened the first Web3 hub and permanent space dedicated to Web3 builders in Italy. So it's been a huge milestone. So just to say that I'm both like on the community building side, but also like I'm a software engineer myself. So I've been building and working in startups for the past 6-7 years. I also started kind of like through gaming because I was chatting with Samuel about this already, like Minecraft, I don't know, gave me this like spark of creativity when coming up with new ideas and building them, you know, as soon as you have it. And that's also something that I really enjoy about Web3 and all these building blocks that you can put together to create things that weren't existing before. So yeah, really excited to be here. And really bullish on Farcaster mini apps in general. I think are great tool for achieving distribution and funding users for the things you build, because that's what matters in the end. Like I had a lot of side projects, you know, taking dust right now, because it's difficult to find, you know, users and people that enjoy or like use them. But with Farcaster frames and mini apps, actually, it's totally different vibe. Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks you, Lemon, for the like motivation to build on Farcaster as well. Yeah, I think it was great. Thanks, guys. Okay, I think we can move on and start our workshop. I will drop, but in case like you need me, you can ping me in the chat. I will be online. And I wish everyone, guys, in Kiev happy happy hackathon and have a good time. See you guys. Samir, I think you can go ahead and start. Sorry,
You're
mate, you're
muted.
muted. Yeah.
Okay, we can fix that. You should be seeing some slides now and able to hear me.
Yes.
Nice, perfect.
Yes,
So
yes.
quickly we'll run through how you think through developing a mini app. What are some of the best practices? And that's what we're going into with what we're starting. They were called frames before, so there's maybe some kind of confusion, but they're now called Farcaster mini apps. And we're running through that. Limoni is then going to take over and just tell you how to actually go viral. So the first steps we're doing is give you an overview of what is a mini app, what can you build with it, how to develop them, how to bring them up, and then Limoni is going to talk about how you can actually go viral, because in the end, we all care about users. So firstly, why even Farcaster? Well, there's an example of Tim. They're building a betting app, like literally just sports betting, kind of like team engagement. And every single time that they build on Farcaster, like a little mini app, a little frame, their usage jumped. Like they literally had exponential growth every single time they dropped something new through Farcaster. So like to get a first little set of users, it's really, really cool to just go there, tap into the community and get that, especially if you're building something in crypto, because there's such a large crypto user base. And in 2025, Coinbase is coming along and taking mini apps and the Farcaster and literally rebuilding the whole Coinbase wallet app to make it a Farcaster client. So then there's two apps mainly that you can use that are full-on clients. There's Coinbase Wallet and Webcast. the cool thing about Coinbase Wallet in this context is that it already has such substantial distribution that then just comes and is now able to like be there for you so you can have your apps in there. And Base in general, like they're really keen on getting a lot of mini apps. So that's something to be excited about in 2025. And why I'm here is basically just, yeah, we built a bunch of mini apps, built a bunch of documentation, and that's why I'm able to just speak on this. So we've done it before. The historical background of frames and like mini apps to me is really, really interesting. And top left, you'll see Farmville, and Limone is going to talk about Farville, which is literally like taking that concept from the good old days and making it into the good nowadays. And so you're able to just literally take all of the little oh shit, right, there's a I have an echo here. Just okay. Sorry. Slides. We were at this one. Nice. And also if you look at Twitter, Twitter, for example, had a bunch of these little like tweet decks and apps that were able to just charge $10 a month, or just were really cool tools that were around in the ecosystem built on top of their API. The problem with Twitter now is if you actually want to reconstruct most of those, it's either $5,000 or $50,000 every single month, which even for like Twitter having millions of users wasn't something that was sustainable for the developers. So they quit. The cool thing with Farcaster is that Farcaster is full on open. So it's programmable. You can take it, you can get all of that data, and it doesn't cost you $50,000 a month. And that to me is really cool because we can literally go back in time and rebuild those old cool days. And we now also have a payment system in there that we didn't really have before. And this is the example of Farcade, where Farcade is a gaming app inside of Farcaster that you can try, where there's a bunch of mini games that you can just play. And the most important thing to understand is Farcaster mini apps are websites. So being a website means any kind of technology that you use to build a web page. What's it like? Java, C#, JavaScript, pure HTML doesn't even matter at all. You can literally use it to build a frame, right? Like the only thing you have to do once you have a web app is you add that FC frame tag, you add a little description, you make sure that the Farcaster app actually knows that you're like ready to be shown, and then you can leverage the superpower of the context, and we'll get into the context. But literally to just like show you that it's all just web pages, we can go and actually look at some of those like Farcaster mini apps. So if we're taking the link and we're going into this, we can open the little web app here. Is it loading? Why is it not loading? Give me the actual app. So we can open the web app, and when we inspect it, we will find everything that we just saw, meaning in the head, there's a little meta comment right here, a little meta tag FC frame. But everything you see here, like this is just one little description, and like we'll go into the documentation of that, but this is just a little description that tells Webcast and Coinbase Wallet to render this as like a mini app. So like in the feed, you see the preview and that it all works. And as you can see, like I can access this in the browser. Like this is literally just a web app. It's nothing more, nothing less. So if you're able to build a web app, you already know how to build a Farcaster frame. And that is literally the power, right? Like that context, and we'll get into what that provides you. That context is a superpower. So you're inside of a social app, inside of Farcaster, and you can tap into all of the context that gives you, having social profiles attached, having wallets attached. So literally, the user's account number, like the FID, is what you get. And with that, you're able to just look up the user everywhere. You also get the information where they're coming from. So you know, are they in Coinbase Wallet? Are they in Webcast? Are they in another client? And that to me is really, really powerful because that allows you to track what kind of campaign, what kind of user base actually works. What is your user base? what is your install base? Like, how many people have installed the app? Where are they coming from? Is it usually all notification driven? Is it post based? If it's through posts, who's actually the person posting it? So you can really identify your hardcore users, which you aren't able to do on any kind of other social platform because you don't get the context. If somebody posts a link to your app on Twitter, you don't really know how many people that drove unless it's already a link that you're tracking. You just know, okay, my source here is Twitter. Hopefully, if all of the cookies are set. Here, the actual SDK, like the actual like Webcast or Coinbase app, they give you that context. So you know where you're coming from, and it doesn't depend on browser cookies for that tracking. And if you look at the FID, which is like the user identification number, on the right, you can see like all of the information that it gave me about myself. But a quick rundown on that, it's literally all of my user account. So if you take the information on the right, you can render what is in the middle to just give me a full user account. You don't need to do this in your mini app, but it's information that you can use to then build with, right? Because a lot of the things that work in mini apps right now is making it really, really social and personalizing it to you. And if you already have the context of what's my profile picture, what's my name, you can literally just show me that and say hello. And by that, you're like, oh, nice, yeah, that's me. I'm already like in here. And then you can let me do some steps. And you also, if you want to really personalize or build something fun, you also have all of my past posts and interactions. You can look that up. So you can be like, hey, Samuel interacted a bunch with Limon, but likely they're friends. So if Limon is already on my mini app, just let me show him the profile and be like, hey, check out your friend, he's already here. And by that, you can already build more trust in your app, for example. There's also the ability to just see my wallets. So my wallets that I attached to my Farcaster account, you can see. So you can show me any kind of like crypto assets, past trades I've done. You can recommend me how to trade better. You can recommend me like coins or something to buy, right? Like all of this you can do just from the context, and that's already there. You just need the FID for that. So that to me is really, really powerful because it gives you the ability to just like think through, okay, I now have all of this information. I never had this before. What can I do? Usually I force the user to log in to get that information. You have that before the login. So you can personalize even before that. And the little frame that we just saw before, the on-chain alignment chart, it already does that. So there's a button to show friends where because I'm following people and Kasra has access to that, when he developed the frame, he was able to say like, oh yeah, I'm just giving you a button where you can see all of the little stats about your friends as well, because most likely, since you follow them, you care about that. And he also used my profile picture and my name to say, hello, like it's already personalized, this is yours, which is really, really cool. Then there's a lot of documentation and we can get into like building that. The most important thing for you to take away in this workshop is that you can go into the developer settings on Webcast and create a mini app. And then you would add a domain, and there we're now able to generate the low preview embed that we need, which is the meta tags. And we're able to generate the Farcaster.json. It's kind of like a mapping to your domain. Why is that needed? Because there's literal developer rewards. So looking at those, there's a leaderboard of what kind of mini app is the most popular on Farcaster. And if you're in here, for example, like I'm on place number 8, Limon is at place number 7 with Fabio in this algo, then you can actually get some money from the Webcast team, but only mini apps with a verified manifest are eligible. So that's why like we're doing this little step. The other reason why we're doing it is because if you want to be able to just have this little button here to add the mini app, which then adds it, and you're able to send push notifications, you also need this little JSON. So if you want to be able to send push notifications, which is a huge retention driver, then that's something you want to do. And literally at the end here in the developer tools, you have access to that. And then that is something where there's documentation all over that we can just use. There's also a pure HTML starter, and there's also way more starters. There's one command we'll get to, which is npm create Farcaster mini app. So we just walked through the developer tooling. There's docs available in general. There's also a really, really great starter by Limon that you can use, which has way more batteries included than the official Farcaster / mini app. So that's something that's really cool. It also has mobile debugging, but literally the manifest itself is the one thing that you care about because you need to get that right. When you're debugging also, you want to make sure that you always call the SDK actions.ready, but generally also look at the SDK. When you're looking at the SDK, not only is the context a great superpower, but also the actions. And Limon is going to go deeper into like some of that when we're talking about virality. But with the actions, you can bring up a profile from a user, and with that profile, you're then able to just let them follow you or create a new post. You can have users create a new post. So if they then post about your app, you're starting to now go viral. As like, if that user posts again, you get all of this distribution right in a social feed. And it's way easier than just doing it elsewhere because you already have the context about the person. You can personalize it to them. You can just make sure that you create a moment that's like really valuable and shareable to them. And that is kind of like the overall thing to take away here is when you're building a frame, it's a web app. You're building web technology. You add a little bit of Farcaster related stuff, meaning like one meta tag and one JSON file, and you just import that one SDK. And all of a sudden, boom, you're right there. You've converted it to a mini app. If you want to make that work on chain, then the Farcaster clients, like all of the Farcaster clients, already provide a WAGMI connector that you can just plug right in, or they're also announcing to the injected provider so that you can just have the wallet right there, and the user doesn't have to fiddle around with wallet connection. They're just right in, you already have a wallet connected, which is a big benefit to how most of the applications in the crypto ecosystem currently work, right? So that's it from like the overview on development from my side. If there are any questions, let's take the last like roughly 10 minutes to do some Q&A. Generally, as a quick summary, the most important thing is literally this like developers dashboard, because you're going to use that throughout building in the hackathon and while you're building like mini apps in general to debug. If you look at the bottom, there's additional tools like preview the mini app, preview the embed, validate it, and some links out to the docs. So that's your kind of like home screen where you can go. Yeah. And if there are any kind of questions, let's get to that.
Ой, блін. Є якісь питання, будь ласка, можливо, так. Oh, so sorry for Ukrainian, I just a bit forgot to be speaking English. So yeah, I will pass the microphone to the one who has the question.
So thank you for the workshop. The first question is, what is the best practice to store users' data, not temporarily, but in long time, like?
Yeah, most of the ecosystem uses Postgres. So there's APIs to get data, but if you want to store it, you would just have your own database, kind of like you're building a web app and you handle user data.
Yes, but I see in the mini kit from Base, they use Redis. So you suggest using the Postgres database, yes?
Yeah, like in Farcaster, most developers have Postgres as their backend. So it's like the easiest to just ask questions and get support. Because if you want to get all of the data, like literally the whole network, then most of those tools index into Postgres and are used to working with Postgres. That's why I'm saying like the easiest is Postgres, but you're building an app, so you can just take the data and dump it into any data store you want.
Okay, and another question is why does Farcaster have two different wallets? Like one is main wallet where you store your crypto, and another is Farcaster wallet.
Yeah, the webcast wallet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I can quickly bring up our architecture, the Farcaster architecture, and share that. Which should
For example, you can see two buttons, show Farcaster recovery phrase and show wallet recovery phrase. So
Yes.
why it is not combined?
Yeah, okay. So looking at the kind of like Farcaster architecture, one thing you'll notice is that your Farcaster account lives on Optimism mainnet. Let me know if you can't see the screen. But your Farcaster account lives on Optimism mainnet. So that address, that's the like custody address, that is the one that holds and owns your account on Optimism mainnet. So that private key and like getting a signature from that could mean that you're now able to move your Farcaster account. For the wallet, the Webcast wallet is a client level feature that just exists inside of Webcast. So if that wallet is like compromised, you're phished on that one, or something happens, then this is separate from your actual FID, your social account. Right? It's kind of like saying, okay, you now have a banking app, and that banking app is separate from your email app because your email is used to recover the banking app, right? Or your two-factor authentication. That's kind of like the separation. It's you have that one account that literally owns your Farcaster account, and then you have the wallet that you're able to play with, which is inside of Webcast. For Coinbase, for example, it's like you bring your own wallet inside Coinbase wallet, or you create one, right? And then it's still separate unless you use that to generate an account. You can have that be the same, but the historical reason why it's like different in Webcast is one, this is your Farcaster account that was like created, and then they built the wallet on top of that, and you have the separation of concerns there.
Oh, many thanks, got it. But that was a little bit confusing when I wanted to set up a mini-kit Farcaster frame, and I exported wallet recovery phrase, and that wallet did not provide the Farcaster ID. So I had to export Farcaster recovery phrase, and only after that I got my Farcaster ID.
Yeah, there's one thing like I would never, unless outside of doing a backup, I would never export that just because that owns my account. So I'm not a fan of like those tools asking you to do that. I would go into Webcast like developer tools, because there I can enter a domain, like the Morpho one, for example, and then I'm able to just generate all of my little frames here, and I can see it. I can update the manifest. I can do whatever I want here already without having to export my seed phrase. And then I can also press register right here. So the reason why they want you to export that is because they just generate that for you. They do everything, but you give up that security risk of now you're handling like your actual like seed phrase again. Where in this web tool from Webcast, you can just do that right away in here. That's why like I prefer this way. Both of them work and get you the same end result.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have one more question here.
Yeah, I'm Sergey. Hello. How to deploy frame with the mini kit or like Farcaster frame mini app SDK?
Yep. A frame is a web app, right? So wherever you want to deploy your web app, you can deploy the frame. If that's Cloudflare, Versal, your own server, AWS, you name it.
Yeah, but how to like see it in Farcaster? How to test it in like this environment?
Yep.
I mean
So-
that.
Yep. So in this developer overview, if you go to developers, there is a preview, and then you're typing it in. So if it's the Morpho one, you're typing in your URL. This could be a Cloudflare tunnel. This could be your
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand.
any kind of
Yeah,
tunnel.
thank you.
And there's a local one. So how to test? So there is a Frames.js local debugger where you can also test with localhost on your machine before tunneling or deploying. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
One more.
Yeah, one more question. My question is where these private keys are stored. Is it stored on the Farcaster backend or is it stored only on the client app when you register first?
There's this key split happening. So you have a key on the client side, which is then protected by the passkey for Webcast specifically. And then they on the backend also have one, which is with the account that you register to post. The actual like custody address, if you're talking about the address that owns your account, that only lives on your client. So that Webcast does not have that, like the Farcast backend, nope, that doesn't have it. And if you're talking about the wallet itself, like the crypto wallet, the Webcast wallet, that is using Privy under the hood, and that has split out the secrets. So that's Privy for you. Like I said, the wallet that owns your account, that's only on your client.
Okay, so okay, got it. Now I understand why you have this export passphrase feature only on the client side. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have no more questions. So, yeah, no more questions here. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
All right. Samuel, should I go? Did you cover everything you wanted to cover?
Yep.
All right, so let's, yeah.
Yeah,
Now we're
we are
going viral.
here. We are here. Yeah, we see you and we hear you.
Perfect. So let me share my screen. All right. So Samuel just told you what's a mini app, how to debug them, how to build them, how to ship them in production, how to store data. So everything you need to build one. And now, like I will cover some tips and ideas that I suggest like you to have a look at least or brainstorm around it to make sure that your frame or mini app goes viral. Because one important thing that made all those mini apps that were popular, let's say on Facebook or even on Twitter, was that they were very and really embedded within the social graph of those social networks. While today, for example, talking about like other ecosystems where you can build mini apps like Telegram or WorkCoin, for example, you don't have that social context. You don't have like that same ease in accessing the user social graph, the user social data, their friend, like things that Samuel was even mentioning. And I think that's limiting a lot. While in the case of Farcaster, we have all of this. And so I think it's very important to somehow like benefit from this social context that we have. And so in this article that I will also, let me see if I can find the link so that I can share it on the chat. What is it? Oh yeah, this one. So that you can check it later. Where's the chat? I don't have access to the chat. Yeah, maybe I'll share it later after the presentation. But basically, like there are like 8 tips on how to make sure that your mini app goes viral. So nothing is a rule here, but it's just best practices in my experience in building Farville, which is like the counterpart of Farmville on Farcaster, let's say, and which is going pretty well in terms of like daily active users and retention. So first thing, as I was mentioning, make it social or it's a miss, because you are inside the Farcaster social graph, so you have an opportunity to profile the user profile, profile their friends' connections. You can put in usernames, avatar, bios. you can create leaderboards. Like for example, in the case of Farville here, you can see a ranking of my friends according to their experience achieved in the game. You can have them earning badges. You can have like stats for a specific profile. In this other mini app, for example, which is called Ponder, which is kind of like a prediction market poll mini app, you can see how they are pre-filling. Yeah, maybe I can show the live version. You can see how they are pre-filling the user profile picture to show who voted there, and so it's cool because maybe if I see that some of my friends voted in this poll, maybe I'm triggered in or more incentivized in answering as well. Where was I? The same goes for inviting friends. So like you can easily build referral mechanism where I can click on this button, open a new tab on Farcaster and mention my friend and invite them on playing with me on whatever game I'm doing. And from these we go to like creating shareable moments. So as I mentioned, like you can easily share invitations throughout Warpcast. So or any kind of things. So in the case of Farville, is the game I'm building, you have like different channels where you can share stuff with your friends. So this is like a leaderboard. Let's say my friends leaderboard. I have this button here to share. It opens up a new tab, and this is using an SDK function called, it's a new one. Let me see how it's called. Like to open a new, compose cast. You can compose a cast and share it on the timeline. So in the case of Farville, as you can see, it comes with a personalized cast text and then a custom preview open graph image. Because the cool thing about like these mini apps is that you can easily, let me turn this on. You can easily, customize different pages to show on the feed with different images. So again, like Farville, it has like different steps or different shareable moments. So in this case, Kazo was sharing how many days of daily active streaks he has. Little Ari is sharing like a request for some potato seeds. And as you can see, you can customize this image at your will. And this is a very powerful tool because after prompting the user to get an action, like minting an NFT, playing a game, betting on an event, or maybe sharing a leaderboard position, asking some sort of support in the frame, you can auto-compose them the cast, share it on Warpcast, and that will trigger a viral loop because other people in the feed scrolling Warpcast or Coinbase wallet soon, they will be able to see the frame, click on, see the mini app, sorry, I'm still used to the old term, click on the button, in this case, discover my aura, go here, use the frame, so being active users on your mini app, and then share it again. And this goes potentially like endlessly, infinitely. As I was mentioning, like you should design for feed virality. So there are like some tips or like small details that we are using, but also Ponder is using to incentivize user interactions in this case. So like you can show in the preview image how many active predictors are there because, when it comes to social apps, we are very biased, like people and users are very biased by other people like using it. And so if you are able to show that there are some of my friends using this mini app here, or just like knowing that there are 2,000 people using it, I'm more incentivized, not incentivized, but I trust more the mini app in this case. And the same goes for the one I'm building. As you can see here, like we are listing how many active users, how many active players are on the game. And if there's one player, maybe you think like, okay, maybe this is not a funny game. Nobody is playing this. Why? If instead you see there are 3,000 people, you feel like, okay, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's fun. I should try it out. Adding friendly entry points is something that Samuel already covered. So you can, again, as soon as your user opens the app, you can fetch the user profiles data. You can play with deep linking for composing cast, sending direct cast. So there's a link that I attached here that shows you how to compose a cast with text, with embeds, with mentions. You can also like reply to a cast directly. So there's a bunch of like growth hacking stuff that and you can do if you're like creative. Another important thing, as for the fifth tips, it's to reward people. So you should, I think it's a best practice to highlight who did what inside the app, because again, like it's social. So I get excited if I see my friend on the leaderboard grinding and competing with me. There's Samuel that has a very harsh beef with some other friends on Farcaster to compete on Farville in this case. You should let like people earn or collect things while they're using your app. So badges, like early access to some new features. You could show who brought in new users so that I'm incentivized in referring. So if I invite a friend, maybe I should get rewarded because I'm bringing new users inside your app. As well as rewarding people for casting your mini app. So casting on a feed is very important. So you need to create, again, like getting back to the shareable moments. It's very important because if you don't let your users share moments that they enjoy in the app, you're losing new users that might join the app as well, because they are playing like single player. Nobody out of the mini app can enjoy that experience. While if you create something that they are willing to share spontaneously, you are simply like increasing the chance that more users join your app. Again, like keep the loop tight. So users interact, they get feedback on some actions they do, they get like dopamine on something. They share it, they bring others, and then repeat. So every users that come in, interact, get feedbacks, share, and brings other users in. Another important thing that Samuel already mentioned are notifications. So whenever your users add the mini app to their Farcaster client, in this case like WordCast, you can send them mobile notifications. So you can send them broadcast notifications. So let's say there's a new feature, there's a time-limited event, there's a community milestone, like 1,000 players joined. You can send it in broadcast to every users. You can also send a sync or delayed notification. So maybe you lost your top spot on the leaderboard. So if you, in your app, you can catch like this event, you can send a targeted notification to that user that lost the spot, or maybe you can ping somebody that created a poll, and you can ping them anytime somebody replies to that poll, or maybe you can ping them when their daily reward is ready. So you can like be very creative on these notifications, because it's another tool that you can use to bring users back. And social triggers again are work very well. So if in this notification, like if you can make them very personal, if you can make them very tied to the user social graph, the higher is the chance that they build some viral loops. The higher the chance that they get open and bring a new user inside your app. So this is an example for Ponder. As you can see, like they send every once in a while, they send this big prediction, 39 USDC. So there's a large bounty available. Tap here to vote. You tap here, it opens your mini app, and then you're ready to vote something. The last thing, which is actually the first thing you should care about, is around planning the launch. So I've seen like many people launching mini apps on Farcaster. I've been launching mini apps as well. Like these ones included here are the two I shipped in the past 2 months. And I started noticing a pattern that everybody like launching a mini app was creating these pre-save or like alpha waitlist kind of thing that we know like worked very well with even with NFTs in the past in the crypto bubble 2021 probably. But the key thing here is that maybe you want to gather some attention before your product is ready, before your mini app is live. And so you ship something that is kind of a preview of the game, of the mini app that you're building. So in the case of Farville, for example, we were allowing people to plant things during the preview, but there was just a simple button to pre-save. And with this pre-save, you were making sure that people were joining like these wait lists to play your game. So you were getting like actual feedback. And that's good because it allows us to understand if the mini app is getting appreciated, let's say. And it's also important because by pre-saving and adding the frame to your client, you're saving, you're enabling notifications for the users that are joining your mini app early. And this means that whenever you go live, you can bring pre-savers back with a broadcast notification. So the thing is, like, launch a preview, have a way for them to pre-save your mini app, and then as soon as it's ready, send a notification, hey guys, like, mini app is ready, you can try it now. And that's it. And they will come, hopefully. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it on my side. You can see like the top mini apps again, as Samuel was showing, the top mini apps, which have also been included in the article. You can witness yourself like which viral loops they built, but it's all tied to the social graph. So make sure that whatever you will be building during this hackathon will have like a strong tie to the user social graph, because that's huge potential unlock. Thank you, and yeah, happy to answer any question or go deep dive into any example that you noticed.
Thank you so much for information that you're sharing. Do we have questions here, guys? No for now. Yeah, but anyway, you are open and for any questions after. Am I right? On your social media?
Yes, I can leave my my Twitter here.
Thank you.
And my Farcaster. Wait a second, I'm linking in the chat.
Thank you so much for that.
This is my Twitter, and this is my Farcaster. So really, feel free to reach out.
Sorry, say
like
again where you posted it, because we don't see it.
I posted it on the chat on the Zoom.
On the chat on the Zoom. Okay, I see. Just post it here on the screen, like with big letters, I would say. If it's possible for our guest. Just share.
Didn't understand. Share the screen. Okay, sorry.
Share the screen with your Twitter, or just like type it in Google Docs, wherever. Oh yeah, here. We can see it here. Yeah.
This is Twitter, and this is Farcaster. Same profile picture.
So it's basically the same name for Twitter and for Farcaster as well.
Twitter has limone_. Farcaster as limone.it.
Okay. Are we good, guys, here? Everyone who wants? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for being with us, and we are really welcome you more. And bye-bye.
It's been a pleasure. Good luck for the hackathon.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Yay, let's give a big applause. Окей, друзі, у вас є Discord, у кого немає, підходьте, я вам дам посилання на Discord цього хакатону, ви можете приєднатися, знайти команду. Там також є правила, є умови і удачі. Так? У нас є місця отут для хакінгу, і ще в нас є 5-й офіс ось тут, якщо бажаєте, також там можна присісти.